forward fam, some Columbus people. Awesome. So what I want to do today is go over all the things that I have done and built. And this is going to seem a little bit of a fire hose, but I'm going to show you actionable items, and we're actually going to workshop how you can go start implementing this in your business today. So first of all, I want to reiterate that AI is not coming. I know a lot of people have been talking about it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. It is already here. And although a lot of people are using ChatGPT, ChatGPT honestly is just the pinky finger of the human body of what AI is capable of doing. So today I'm going to walk you through a bunch of different programs and platforms, and I'm going to be completely transparent on how to use them. So AI is not here to replace you. A lot of people are getting scared of it because they think that it's coming for their job. They think that it's robotic. They think that it's all of these things that it's just not. However, the agents who are utilizing AI are going to get so much further ahead so quickly that that gap is just right around the corner. I mean, I'm saying within the next 2 to 4 years, the difference between the agents who are implementing with AI and the agents who are not is going to become very clear. So for those who were in the forward room with us last year, this is a quick clip of what Gary Vee has said about AI.
Dustin, I need you to come on stage with me. No, not you, the camera. Actually, thank you, Dustin. How many people here now use an AI bot instead of Google to search? Stand up. Look how many people are standing right now. Just to remind everybody, these are not 20-year-olds. And look how many people in this room are now using AI, ChatGPT, Perplexity, other things to look up stuff, not Google. That should scare the fuck out of you. There's an urgency in my voice that I hope you hear. I'm looking here and I'm like, if they don't take this serious, the next 2, 4, 6, 10 years is going to be challenging. And that just sucks. It sucks to have a long career, to do your thing, put in all those deposits, and then lose half your market share because you didn't advance with technology.
So Gary Vee obviously is a very forward thinker, and when he said that is when I really started to dive into what AI was capable of doing beyond just ChatGPT. So in the next 90 minutes, I'm going to show you the exact strategies that I have used to automate 75% of our business in 2024. And this is not something that is theory. This is literally what I have built and how I built it. So drop your questions in the chat. I have the chat up, but Tania, if I'm missing anything, just let me know and just jump in and just say, hey, check us. All right, so first of all, let's debunk a couple of myths. Like I said, AI is not replacing you, but the agents who are utilizing AI are absolutely going to dominate the market. 2, I hear all the time, especially from some of the older generation and the people who've been in real estate for forever, AI is too complicated. I promise you, if you can use Google, you can use AI, and I'm going to show you a very powerful platform that is free today to show you exactly. If you've been in the business for a long time, the MLS actually used to be a book. You actually had to go pick up keys at offices to show houses. When Zillow came along, everyone didn't think it would work, right? They thought it was just a new shiny object. Social media, content creation, personal brands, all of these things have been around. And at some point, when enough people start to realize that this is the next big thing, is when they explode. So my goal here is to help you guys be kind of on that forefront of where AI is headed to build your business. I hear it all the time that AI is expensive. And I promise you, if you take the route I did, which was 18 months of hermit mode, late at night, burning both ends of the candle, trying every single thing that's out there, yeah, it can be very expensive. I've spent over probably $50,000, $60,000 at this point trying to learn all these different things. So what I'm going to do today is streamline all of that for you. But AI in and of itself will save you money. It will save you time, and it will replace tools that are clunky and Frankenstein together, and you won't have to outsource as much. Lastly, I hear all the time that AI isn't personal. We can't use AI because it will sound like a robot. And I want you guys to know that all of this AI is completely customizable, and it actually enhances the human connection because it frees up your time to spend with clients instead of drowning in that admin work. So why do real estate agents or entrepreneurs in general feel stuck? We're always chasing cold leads. There's inconsistent income because when we get really busy, the prospecting drops off and we have these ebbs and flows of our business, and we get stuck in the follow-up. A lead comes in and we all know 7 to 10 touches, follow up, email, text, phone call. So you get stuck on this hamster wheel that really isn't pushing the needle forward for you at all. And then lastly, the tedious, mundane admin work. I cannot tell you how many hours in the beginning of my career I spent on a lot of these things that now are just completely automated within my business. So we're going to start today with a 5-step framework of how you can get from wherever you are now to implementation today. So this framework is called SPARK. First, your first step is going to be to spot the bottlenecks. So this is a 30,000-foot view of where your business is lagging, where you're spending too much time, where there's broken, where you're passing something off and now you're waiting on someone else's response. All of those things in your business are bottlenecks. So what is killing your growth in your business? Is it leads? Is it time? Is it your team? Or is it tech? This is going to be step 1 because you can't fix what you don't diagnose. So my personal favorite on this is I have 4 huge whiteboards in my office. Whenever I get stuck on something, I just take a whiteboard and I go from start to finish. In this workflow, what is step 1, step 2, step 3? And when I have the entire flow mapped out that way, visually for me, I can start to say, okay, this is where I can put AI first, and then this platform is going to connect to this one in this way. And I'm going to teach all of that to you guys today. So again, this is that 30,000-foot view, step 1. Step 2 is start to learn and understand where you can plug in AI. So for myself and my team, we've automated all of our lead gen and all of our follow-up. We've also automated a lot of our deal analysis. So my partner and I are investors. Instead of me having some broken formulated spreadsheet like we used to, I've now trained bots to here's the purchase price, here's the scope of work, here's the ARV, analyze this for me. So that saves me hours of time and frustration, and majority of the time it finds things and sees things that I wouldn't have as a human being. Automate your systems and processes. So one of the big things that we had in our team as a bottleneck was when one of our agents would go under contract, they were having to fill out information to our transaction coordinator, me as the rainmaker, the title company, this, and this. We've automated all of that. So I'll show you too how you can make internal automations using AI that will free up your time for your team and allow them to build relationships belly to belly. So this is the 20,000-foot view. So first, what's the bottleneck? Second, where can we plug in AI? Step 3 then is going to be automate your authority. So how can we use AI to create content, to auto-generate content, auto-post content? Where can we use AI to build social proof? So for example, we not only have an automation that will request the Google review, we also have a bot who will watch for that Google review to be posted, read the post, analyze the post, and then comment back a reply. Why do we do that? 1, Google likes to see that you're actually engaging with your Google My Business, so it drives you up in the rankings. And 2, that bot is trained what our SEO keywords are for our business. So it's responding in a way that has maybe Columbus, Ohio real estate agent, or Upper Arlington, our markets that we work. So it's not only responding to the person, but it's doing so in a strategic way that's helping us rank higher on Google. Local dominance. So we use this for hyper local content too, to figure out very quickly what events are going on, whether it's arts, sports, things like that. You can train the AI to go scrape the internet, find that information, and just report back what it found, whether it is just the information or even the information with cited links to where it found it. So this is that 10,000-foot view. So if you can start to see, we're just building a funnel down to implementation here. Step 4 then would be to reinforce the path. So systematize what moves the needle and actually spending time, like I said, instead of being on that hamster wheel, strategically analyzing what will take the most off of your plate, but still get done with the AI. We've automated SOPs. We've automated the creation of SOPs. I've actually built a bot that will actually build out standard operating procedures for us based upon the information that we give. So instead of having to have someone do the thing and another person document how that person does the thing, we just say to the bot, hey, this is the path of, maybe my client journey. This is how they start. And just either voice or type into the bot, and it will actually create that SOP for you. And then building those bots to run 24/7. So I know I've got a couple of they're not my students, they're colleagues of mine, but in my community in here, and we've gone over all these different things that you can do to build bots that just run for you 24/7. So as you start to think of these things, you're now lead generating while you're sleeping, while you're at your kid's game, while you're on vacation. And these leads are coming in. And we've also built the foundation that now these leads are getting responded to. And they're not just canned responses, because we're learning how to use AI to actually analyze and read what that lead is saying and train a bot in your brand voice to respond and have these conversations. So this is your 1,000-foot view. And then lastly, we're going to keep it simple to scale. So we're going to eliminate the chaos and complexity, because once we build the bot one time, there's no longer having to, pick and choose and perform and all these different things. You build it one time and you just let it run. There's no more Frankenstein systems. So you're not having to have 20 tabs up and jump from this thing to that thing to that thing to this thing, because we've built bots that can have all of those platforms talk and actually do the tasks for you. And then we're going to get clarity, and automation creates velocity. So once we actually get clear on what we need these bots to do, automate them, then we can scale our business without having any of this time left on our plate. And that's going to lead you to your new life and business. So it is completely possible, if you actually take what I teach you today and implement it, to automate 75% of your business in just 90 days. Quite honestly, I did it in less than that. But I understand if it's a learning curve and things like that, you can do this in 90 days or less without burning out, without hiring a huge team, and without losing that personal touch. So I'm going to show you exactly what I've done to build our 7-figure real estate empire. So first, where do we start? I know I just gave those 5 steps. We're going to start with the bottlenecks, but what I've learned through being an entrepreneur myself for the last almost 9 years is we are thrown so much information and so much opportunity. So webinars, classes, networking, clients, family, we've got all these balancing acts that we're trying to keep these balls in the air without anything dropping and breaking. So for me, I was getting very frustrated in the beginning, because I'm like, I want to learn all of these things, but I just don't have time. So what I have found is, to be the most efficient for me, there's a free platform called Notebook LM. Has anyone heard of Notebook LM yet? Brooke, you don't count, you're in my community. Okay, so Notebook LM is a free Google service that will allow you to come in here and create what they call notebooks. So these notebooks, you are able to add any types of sources of information from your Google Drive. It could be PDFs, it could be links to a website, YouTube videos, it could be anything that you need. Use cases that I have used it for the most are, I love to watch YouTube videos of Alex Hormozy, Gary Vee, all these different people, but they're very educational. I don't have 3 hours to sit there and actually watch it, right? So I use it most for that. As a real estate agent, we get tons of documents of, 80 pages of HOA documents. A lot of times, if I can't sit down and figure out, 30 minutes to sift through it, I'll dump it in a Notebook LM and I will create what you're about to see to help me go through all that documentation. So I went ahead and just uploaded one 3-hour and 30-minute video of Alex Hormozy. All I have to do is come here, take the YouTube link, and drop the link right here in a Notebook LM, and then hit insert. If you wanted to, if there were 4 or 5 videos or multiple documents that were all on the same information, you can add multiple sources to this Notebook LM if you want to. So you could keep this for different projects, developments, brand, things like that that you're building out, and revert back to it and keep it stored. So just by dropping this YouTube link into Notebook LM, what it starts to do is give me a summary of what this entire 3-hour and 36-minute video is about. But beyond that, this is now a chatbot live based off that source. So it's not searching the internet. It's not the ChatGPT's brain. It's none of that. It's just going off this source for me to extract what information would be best for me from this 3-hour and 30-minute video. So if I typed in here, I am a real estate agent, extract the top 10 pieces of advice in this video that will scale my business. Now we have a live chat bot who's going to go analyze that entire video, extract what it thinks based upon who I am and what I'm looking to do. And now I have a conversational chat to talk to. And what it's going to do when it loads is allow me to save basically 3 hours and 30 minutes of my time. So it says, based off the information in this provided source, here are 10 pieces of advice. Leverage your free community or group, implement a simple funnel, create valuable content, use an onboarding process, obsess over retention. So instead of sitting there for 3.5 hours and getting all this information, I now have an interactive bot who has already analyzed this video that now I can ask questions to. So that's the first thing that it does as far as Notebook LM's power engine is a chatbot. The second thing it can do is create me a study guide based off this information. So a study guide is going to be much like high school, where it breaks off all of the different, headers, subheaders, different documentation to break it down for a 1-pager, basically, of extracting all of that information overall. So for example, what this looks like, and again, that just took 30 seconds, maybe. It breaks down the pricing strategies he talks about, and then it has subheaders of the shift in philosophy, the 4 levers of business, customer retention, all of this information. I'm still scrolling. All of this information is now available to me to print off and take with me, store it in my notebook, whatever I want to do. Another thing it does is you can create a list of frequently asked questions. So now that the bot has analyzed the video, it will create a piece of paper, if you wanted to print it, of what those frequently asked questions are. So what are the 4 key levers for growing your business? How does pricing strategy evolve as business matures? What is the big head, long tail pricing concept? So it's going to extract what it thinks the most valuable questions from this is, and actually break those down, question and answer for you. It can do other things like a briefing document, a timeline, a mind map, if it's something that's very intricate. But the one thing I want to show you is it will actually create an AI-powered podcast. So it took this 3-hour and 36-minute video and just created me a 16-minute podcast that I could just pop in my earbuds when I'm driving or grocery shopping or whatever, and get the most information out of this. The even cooler thing that it can do now, it's still in beta, but I could actually interrupt the podcast that's happening between the 2 AI bots and interject my own questions. And they'll actually stop the podcast in real time, acknowledge that I'm in there asking questions, and answer my question in real time. So just to show you a little bit what this looks like.
Okay, let's dive in. You know that feeling. You're just swimming in business advice, like ticks coming from everywhere.
Oh yeah, nonstop strategies, secrets. It's a lot.
Exactly. And you just want the stuff that actually works, the crucial bits.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what this deep dive is all about today. We've listened to this really, really great discussion with some.
I'm gonna go ahead a little bit just so I
Without
can
being-
interject it.
A natural next step.
Yeah.
Maybe booking a call, especially for the higher ticket stuff.
Makes sense. They've seen the value. Now they want to talk specifics.
And the numbers they mentioned were
Sorry.
Okay, let's dive in. You know that feeling. You're just swimming in business advice, like tips coming from everywhere.
oh yeah, nonstop strategies, secrets. It's a lot.
Exactly. And oh, hey, our listener wants to join in. What's up?
Hey, I actually only have 5 minutes. Can you just extract the most important information that I should know being a real estate agent?
Absolutely. 5 minutes. Got it. Let's focus on what would move the needle most for a real estate agent based on this.
Right. So in a nutshell, think about building your net.
So see the power of it created a 16-minute podcast that I could listen to, but also I can jump in and interrupt it and say, actually, I've only got 5 minutes, or actually, this is the information that I think I need to get out of this video, and it will pivot live with you and actually have a conversation based upon what your needs are. So this is Notebook LM. Again, it's free. It's a Google source, and you take any piece of source information. It creates you a summary with a live chatbot, a study guide, a frequently asked question, and this podcast, all within minutes. Second one that I wanted to go over here, get back into presenter mode. So here's the QR code for Notebook LM if anybody wants it. Give it about 10 seconds so you guys can take a second. And I'll actually send you the slide deck so you can send it out to everybody too. That way, if they don't have their phones or whatever.
Perfect, thank you.
Of course. So another free service that I use often is also Google. It's the Google AI Studio. And what this does is it is connected with Gemini. So it does have chatbots and all of that. But the one thing I want to show you that I think is a complete game changer, especially for busy entrepreneurs, is they now have the ability to come in here and share screen. So you can actually stream what you're looking at on your computer and talk to a AI assistant, like it's an assistant over your shoulder in real time, and ask it questions. So for example, if you're building out an Excel spreadsheet and you get stuck on something, or you're trying to build workflows later this week after you've implemented a couple of these things, this actual Google AI Studio will allow you to have a voice assistant with you to walk you through anything that you get stuck on. And because it's owned by Google, it knows basically every website, every platform, everything. I've never tried to use something that it didn't know. So for example, if you go here to the left and click stream, and then come in here at the bottom and click share screen, you give it permission to actually view your screen. And then I just talk to it. So I'll just open up one of these. Hey, Google, I'm having a hard time.
I see a work. Is there something specific you would like me to look at within this workflow?
Yeah, I'm having a hard time coming up with how I can add another step to this workflow.
I see you want to add another step to this workflow, which currently starts with a Facebook lead form submission and proceeds through a series of actions. Could you tell me what kind of step you're hoping to add and where in the workflow you think it would be most effective?
Yeah, what do you think would be the most highly optimized for a Facebook lead coming through to a real estate agent?
Given that this workflow is for a Facebook lead coming through to a real estate agent, a highly optimized step could be to automatically qualify the lead based on their responses in the Facebook lead form. This could be implemented by adding a step that analyzes the lead's answers to questions about their budget, timeline, and preferred location. Would you like me to elaborate on how to implement lead qualification?
So you stream it live, show it what you're having trouble with, and it will actually walk you through. And not only does it see what you're doing, but it starts to reason and analyze with you to gap the bridge of where you're currently at and stuck on and where you want to be. Another powerful thing that it does is after you're done streaming through whatever session you're trying to get through, it builds you out basically a conversation bot based on those steps. So it's almost creating its own SOP as you go. From there, you could come in here, and obviously I didn't have it do anything for me, but in this chat bot then, after you've already had a full session with it, walking through those steps, you could have this chat bot right here in the Google AI Studio build an SOP for you based upon what you just walked through. So as you're starting to systematize and automate and all of these things, now you have an assistant who's watching over your shoulder, helping you walk through it. And it's building these SOPs for you. So it's easier to implement right away, hand it off to your team, integrate into your business, etc. Awesome. Okay, so back to the present mode. Okay. The next one that I use quite often is Poppy AI. So Poppy AI is not free. It is a paid service. A powerful thing that Poppy AI does have, though, is it does have an API integration. The API keys are what allow different platforms to integrate with each other. So if you're just using it, as we just saw in the last 20 minutes of examples for YouTube videos and actually spitting things out to you, the Google free stuff is perfect. If you want to take it to the next level and actually have these chatbots integrate with other platforms, Poppy is the best way to do it because it does basically the same things as Google does, but it allows you to integrate. So, for example, one of the powerful things you can do with Poppy is, again, if I had 4 or 5 videos that I wanted to watch, I could dump all the YouTube videos in here and then start to chat with this bot in real time, asking it questions based upon my business. So this bot has now watched and analyzed all of these hours of video, and it will help me by answering the questions I specifically have or the information that I specifically want to get out of these videos. A powerful thing that Poppy does allow is you can jump between ChatGPT, Llama, Grok, Cloud, all these different LLMs that will allow you to get a little bit different output. So they're all very similar. I have learned in deep diving that a couple of them are actually built off of the OpenAI source, which is ChatGPT. But it will allow you to find, like Cloud, for example, is much better at the long form writing, the storytelling and things like that. So depending on what you're trying to use this information for, you can toggle between all of these without having to have the subscription for all 4. So that's a powerful tool, or a powerful way that I use this tool. And another one, I'm going the wrong way. Another one that I did with Poppy is I first used it to build out. Oh, I see the problem here in my annotation. Give me 1 sec. There we go. Nope. I first used it to build out me and my business. So I put in there my LinkedIn, my Instagram, all the newsletters, blogs, everything that we've ever done. I dumped that into a folder. Then I took our voice, our tone, and I worked with ChatGPT to pull out, how do I speak? Am I educational? Am I funny? Am I this? Am I that? Whatever it is. And I put the results of that conversation with ChatGPT into the spot as well. I then copy and pasted, like I said, all these different things that I have written myself. And lastly, I put in here who my competitors are. So I actually used AI to analyze what my competitors were doing. What I did then is I put all these folders, as you can see here, into one chatbot. So now I've got this AI chat that knows my business, my brand, my voice, my competitors, and now I can work with this to build copy or captions or scripts or topics, anything that I want that is now taking into consideration what my competitors are doing so I'm not doing the same thing, but also it's elevating me above that in my own brand voice.
Oh,
Uh-oh, did I freeze?
I think you're good now. Yeah, you good.
Okay, I was like, oh gosh, the circle of death. Okay, let me actually just exit out. I think this is probably the problem child. So it's a very powerful tool that you could take even your client Instagrams and LinkedIn's and who they are to build that type of targeted messaging to them. Am I still frozen? Maybe hide your video.
I think you're good now. I think you just had to close that one.
Okay, cool. I know you get all these AI tabs opening up and then they start to bog things down. Okay, so back to here we go. Okay. Maybe. Of course, we have tech problems when I'm presenting on how to use tech to scale your business.
Lauren, maybe touch on how you weren't tech. You're not actually a techie person. You were talking about that.
No, I literally, when we were in San Diego together in March, Sarah had to show me how to bump our phones to get each other's information. I had no idea. I was like, I am not a techie person at all. So that's a really good point. I have no background in tech. I grew up in small town farmland, Ohio. I was a B's and C's type student in high school. I am no smarter than anyone in this room. I just took AI and had it help me learn how to use it in my business. So that's a really good point to make is I'm not a techie person. Clearly, I can't even get my own computer to work. Okay, so let's jump back in. So here's the QR code for Poppy. Like I said, this is not a free service. I do pay, I think the tier that I'm on is about $300 for the year. So it's not super crazy, but if you do want the API integrations and all of those upgrades, that's a tier above. I had it, used it for a little bit, wasn't using it to make it worth the money, so I backed up, downgraded. So next up is ChatGPT and Friends. So I'm sure a lot of you in this room have heard of ChatGPT, Cloud, Gemini, Jasper, Llama, Perplexity, DeepSeek, Grok. You don't need all of them. Pick the ones that you actually want or like, the ones that you know. A lot of people are on ChatGPT because that was the first, basically the first consumer side that was relatable to people back in 2022. But don't overwhelm yourself with having to learn and know every single one of these. This is a small breakdown of what platform is best at different things. So ChatGPT is the conversational abilities and the wide application range. If you have the paid version, excuse me, it can also script the internet. You can also build agentic bots that will actually complete tasks for you. If you only have the paid version, it's just going to be that conversational piece where it's taking the sources that you're giving it with the knowledge it's already been trained on. Cloud is the one that, like I said, is the creative writing, the storytelling. So if you are writing a book, blog, newsletter, anything like that, that might be worth your at least putting eyes on the outcomes of what ChatGPT produces you versus what Cloud produces you. Gemini is really good at advanced data and analysis, predictive modelings, and Jasper is really good for content generation and marketing. Again, they each have their strong suit, but across the board, they're all very, very, very similar. The biggest thing that you're going to want to keep in mind with any of these that you use is going to be prompting. So if you're using it right now to say, write me an email, write me a caption, write me this, write me that, it's probably giving you something very vague and you're probably getting frustrated because it's not giving you exactly what it is that you're looking for. So prompting is very important. The one thing to keep in mind is the better the input that you give it, the better the output that it's going to give you. So you're working together. It's not here to do the thing for you. It's here to enhance the thing you're already doing. So how do we do that? The best prompts that I have ever used are not always questions, they're commands. So if you look here at this little framework, what we're doing is we're telling ChatGPT or whoever you're using what their role is. Act as a marketing strategist. You are a Fortune 500 brand specialist. What is it that if you physically had someone in front of you, who would that person be that could get you the answer that you want? You're going to want to tell the AI to act as or to be that person. The second thing we're going to do is tell it the task. Do we want it to create a lead magnet? Do we want it to create a buyer seminar? What is it that you want it to actually do for you? And then take that a step further and give it some context. Do you already have steps of these tasks? What's the goal of actually completing this task? And then you're going to want to tell it how to format it. So the formatting is very important for content, because if you tell it to make a Facebook post, it already knows what that format is best for Facebook versus LinkedIn versus a carousel on IG versus a YouTube script versus a Reels script. So be specific with the format that you're looking for. That way it is actually giving you the most optimized high value information, and it's already formatting it for you to be the highest success rate. If there's any constraints that you want it to know of, maybe there's certain words or industry jargon that you don't want it to use. You don't want to use emojis, things like that. Tell it what not to do as well. And then give it permission to ask you clarifying questions. So the very last thing, if you're doing one of these prompts, especially if you're just starting out, is giving the ChatGPT the opportunity to ask you questions. So for example, maybe I'm saying, you are a marketing strategist, create me a 30-day content media calendar for a real estate agent. And this is going to be for Facebook. And I don't want you to use any real estate jargon. I want you to write it in a way that a fifth grader could understand it. And then I want to give you permission at the end, like I said, to say, ask me any clarifying questions to better understand what I'm trying to do. So that's the framework that you're going to want to use. Here's a visual of basically the same breakdown. So simulate the persona, break down the tasks, give it information on steps to complete those tasks, give it the context and the constraints, give it the goal, and then give it the format that you want it to output. I promise you, if you're using very generic question-based ChatGPT right now, this is going to absolutely blow your mind, how different the output is going to be. So be specific and clear. Give it an example. So if you want it to write a blog post and you already have written blog posts, dump those blog posts in so it knows how to write like you. So it's the same formatting, the same tone, the same brand voice, the same words. Tell it who to be, very, very important. Set the tone and the style. So you could tell it to be funny, witty, educational, motivational, inspirational, whatever that is for your brand. Tell it what not to do. And then use act as or you are for next level. So again, talk to it as if you were talking to that person, and your output will be 10x. I even do this in my personal life. I used to say, if I had a cold, hey, these are my symptoms. What should I do? Now, if you say act as a general physician, it's going to give you much more niched down answers than just what you would get off of Google. So the more information it has, the better it can perform. So for example, if I were to put in there, make me a 7-day workout, this is what it would probably give me. Day 1, do squats, deadlifts, push-ups, dumbbell, shoulder press, blah, 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 blah. Vague, boring, not helpful. But if I tell it I'm a 35-year-old, this is what I weigh, this is my goal, I want to gain 10 pounds, blah, 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 this is what it's going to put out. Now I have a 90-day muscle and weight gain plan. It knows the goal, it knows my starting weight, it knows my target weight, it knows my time frame, it knows the strategy that I want to use. It's giving me a full nutrition plan. It's giving me ideal foods for weight gain. It's building me out a full meal plan based on those foods. So you see the difference of how much more useful and optimized this information is if I just tell it what it is I'm looking for. All right, so next up is how to customize your ChatGPT. So is anyone not on the $20 version of ChatGPT at least? Perfect, okay, because this only works for the $20 or higher, it does not work for the free. So first, what we're gonna wanna do is customize our GPT. So what you're gonna do first is, let me just duplicate this real quick so I don't lose that. Up in the right-hand corner, you're gonna see either your name or your picture. About 4 down, it says Customize ChatGPT. This is where you're going to tell it what to call you, what you do for a living, what traits your ChatGPT should have. So for example, I told mine, be kind, informative, help assist, tell it like it is, don't sugarcoat responses, take a forward-thinking view. So here's where you can start to manipulate what it is going to give you in every single interaction you have moving forward. There's also advanced options where you can say, maybe you don't want it to scrape the web, maybe you don't want it to do images. I leave all of that how it was because I don't want to debilitate it in any way. Another opportunity you have is in your settings. You can come over here to personalization. And you can give it custom instructions. Oh, that took me to the same one, sorry. You can actually give it custom instructions for memory. Do you want it to actually reference and save everything that you're doing with it? If you don't want it to do that, then toggle this off. If you want it to reference, back to something you were working on last week, last month, things like that, you can actually have it store memory so it continues to learn you and your business and become even more optimized step by step. For those of you who don't know, you can actually talk to ChatGPT. So there's a voice mode down here. On the $20 version, you've got opportunities here to search the web, do deep research, all of these different things to really nail down what you're looking for. Also, if you're not toggling between different models of ChatGPT, I would definitely do that as well. So ChatGPT 4.0 is really good for tasks. 03 is good for advanced reasoning. So if I'm finishing up with 4.0 on creating content, but now I need to go analyze an investor's portfolio, I'm going to switch over to 03 because it's going to be the one that can reason and analyze with me at a much better scale than 4.0 itself. So just know that there are multiple models of these things. And if you're not getting exactly what you're looking for on the model you're on, just switch over and toggle up here at the top left. The next thing is you can actually create custom GPTs. So if you look over here on my left-hand side, all of these at the top are custom GPTs. Each one of these bots is specifically trained for a specific job. All of this down here is just my history. So I can always go back to a thread that I've already done. The way that you can actually create your own custom GPTs, go back up to the top right-hand corner, click My GPTs, and this will open up the opportunity for you to start to train your very own bot. As you can see here, I've got multiples in here. I've got one for a book launch that I built for someone who did me a really big favor, and I realized she had just launched her book. So I actually built this bot for her to help her launch it better. I've got a couple of different things we use in our community. I've got My Brain. So I actually have a bot trained on My Brain that people on my team have access to. So if I'm in something like this, but they have a quick question, they can just pull up their ChatGPT, go to the Lauren's Brain bot and ask it and get pretty much a replica answer of what I would be telling them without them actually having to take the time or me to be interrupted to give them the answer. We've got sales closers, we've got decision makers. This is the systemization and SOP GPT I was telling you about earlier. You can build these bots to be anything that you need them to be. So I will actually, let me just do this for you guys real quick. Let me just drop in one, that way you guys can start to use it and kind of see what the possibilities are. So here's my sales closer bot. And the cool thing about this is you guys get to train these to be however vague or train that you want. So for example, my sales closer bot that I just gave to you guys, its description says it gives objection handling strategies, scripts, and follow-up sequences that increase conversion. It describes the type of client that you're trying to close, ask for a full script, rebuttal. It's got the full description here, but this is what it's trained on. So you are a fusion of the greatest minds in sales and persuasions. Sam Taggart, Napoleon Berrigan, Joe Girard, Zig Ziglar, Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street. Your job is to turn every real estate agent and mortgage lender into a high-ticket closing machine. You train them on the exact sales psychology, objection handling, and persuasion strategies needed to dominate their market. Here are your objectives. Here's what you should ask. Here's when to ask it. So this bot is trained specifically on the life's work of some of the best in this space, but also knows that its job and its goal is to help the real estate industry learn how to overcome objections and close and convert at a higher rate. So you could literally build these things to be anything that you want them to be. For those of you who know me, I have a slight obsession with the Hormozis. It's healthy, I promise. But I've actually built a bot that is, what would Alex and Layla do? So if I get stuck in a business decision, this bot is trained. You are Alex and Layla Hormozi, and you're going to help me build my business to $100 million. So if I jump in here and I say, I am feeling unmotivated and stuck in my business, what should I do? It's going to give me, in either Alex or Layla's dialect and tone, exactly what to do or what they would do. So when you're feeling unmotivated and stuck, here's a direct, no bullshit response inspired by Alex and Layla, who will handle it. Alex talks about this. Layla emphasizes that. So you can actually build these things to be the people that you look up to and have it almost like I'm picking up the phone and talking to Alex and Layla. It's telling me exactly what I need in my business in real time. So the best way to start to play around with this is go to the My GPTs section, and all you have to do is create GPT. And then you get to tell it exactly what you want it to do. Build it out for the description, how does it behave, what it should avoid, all of these things. And if you feel stuck or like this is too rough to dive, pick your toe into to begin with, use ChatGPT to help you. Go to ChatGPT and say, you are a custom GPT creator. This is what I'm trying to do. Here are the tasks, here's the goal, and I want this output, this format, to be a custom GPT prompt. It will actually build you a mega prompt that you just copy and paste to create your own custom GPT. So you could have one of these made in 5 minutes. Okay, so the next thing is, let's see. The next thing is for Zoom to allow share screen of 2 screens at a time. So we went over customizing your ChatGPT. We went over the traits. We went over how to customize a custom GPT. And again, these are very niche and only have one job. So don't create a custom GPT that is a marketer and a sales copy expert and this and that. Build 3. This one's the marketer. This one's the sales copy landing page person. This one. So build them out. And if you're on the $20 version, there's no charge to build these things. So you can build as many as you need. And that's where you really start to gain momentum, because instead of having someone on Fiverr or Upwork that you're presenting these things to, and now you're waiting for it to come back, spending hundreds of or thousands of dollars, you've got this in your back pocket ready to deploy 24/7. You can actually upload text, PDFs, and teach it what you want it to learn and know. So for example, I had a really big development project that I was working on, and I put in here, and this might be hard to see, but I put in here all of the cap tables, all the pro formas, all the architecture plans, the acreage of the land that we were trying to buy. And I trained this custom GPT. I said, act as a business strategist and learn everything about this group. I want you to review and learn all documents that I uploaded. I want to learn about the renewable products that we need in our build out. I want you to act as a business grant specialist and access all grants. So I did give it a couple of different tasks, but it was all specific to this development. So it's learning and understanding and analyzing this development. So what does this allow me to do? I had 380 something odd documents that I dumped in here. And now, instead of me, if an investor or one of our advisors on our board asks a question, I don't have to go through 380 pieces of documentation and find the answer. I could just go into this custom GPT and ask it, hey, can you give me whatever? And it will revert back to, here's the answer. Or if we thought we were going to do 200 acres, but really we're only going to do 100 acres, I could tell it to act as a data analyst and change and skew the pro forma to give me the direct information of what that would do for the bottom line for the investors. And it will do it in a matter of seconds. So that's the power of what you could be building with these custom GPTs. And that's how you deploy multiple agents that are working for you within minutes, specific to your business. So for those of you who are using ChatGPT, you probably already know this, but lead nurturing campaigns, marketing content, AI chatbots, sales scripts, social media, email campaigns, all of these things can be done in ChatGPT to enhance the efficiency of your business, which in turn is going to save you hours of your time. Next, I want to jump into the 5 systems that you can scale on autopilot. So these are actual systems that I'm sure everyone in this room already has that you're doing manually and how to automate them. So 1, lead flow engine. All the lead generation we were ever taught was door knock, cold call, open house, this, do that, right? All these different things that take time, energy, and effort and aren't specific to what maybe your strengths and unique value proposition is. So I'm going to show you how to attract people into your ecosystem so you're not having to chase them. And what that's going to do is attract the right people to you so you're not having headache clients that run you ragged and have nothing in common with you and aren't going to refer you, and all of the things that we've all had in at least a couple of our clients in the past. Then I'm going to show you the follow-up automation, how to actually convert your pipeline, your client experience, and then the CEO command center. So first with the lead flow, I've actually custom built a CRM that is AI powered. I'm going to show you a few things in that CRM. 1, it is for sale. If you want it, feel free to let me know. 2, this is just inspiration for you guys to understand what your own CRM capabilities are. So what this is actually going to allow you to see is this is what my pipeline looks like. Whenever a lead comes through, all I have to do is drag and drop these things through the different areas of our pipeline, from new lead, appointment book, consultation complete, paperwork signed, coming soon, active, under contract. Every time I drag and drop one of these names, a new workflow is started, a new automation. So from new lead, it might say, you know, hey, here's your appointment reminder, very like vague and not personalized. But as soon as they move over here to say signing the paperwork, that is going to be an email text campaign that's going to say, welcome to the LKW home team. We're so excited to see you. Here's who we are. Here's our assistant transaction coordinator's number. You know, and all these different things are much more specific to us and what we do. It can also track all of the posting that you're doing. So there's a social calendar on there. This is just a dummy account, but if you were posting Facebook or Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, you could have all of this in one hub, which allows all of your comments to come through one space. So you're not having to toggle back and forth, but it also will allow you to see the percentages of what's converting at the highest level, so you know where to spend your time. Other things I've built in here is we have general support bots. So think of like a little widget on a website who are already trained on our information. So this specific one, I uploaded 19 pieces of information of who we were, how we spoke. So by the time this bot is responding, it's responding in our brand voice without us actually having to do it. So things that I've taught it are frequently asked questions like, how long does the home buying process take? What's the difference between being pre-qualified and pre-approved? Is it a buyer's or seller's market right now? So I'm building these things out, and it's all completely customizable. So if something starts to come up that wasn't a frequently asked question 6 months ago when I built this, I can jump in here, add that so the bot learns it, and continue on with my day, knowing that the client is taken care of without me actually having to jump in. It also, oh, here, so you're training these just like you would ChatGPT. So you are a bot for my business. You're tasked as an assistant to assist customers. Your primary goal is to build trust and help the customer by referencing our wiki. You cannot book appointments, appointment cancellations, rescheduling. So you can give it what it is allowed to do, what it's not allowed to do, just back to those constraints that we talked about. Here's the intent. Here's the additional information. And so you're building these bots to take all of that heavy lifting upfront off of you. We also have voice AI bots. So don't do it now, but if you guys want to take the number down and call later this afternoon, the phone number is 614-665-5404. 614-665-5404. What you're going to do is pretend like you're a seller and say, I want to sell my house, and watch it walk you through the pre-qualifying process. So it's going to ask you what the address is, how much your payoff is, have you done renovations, have you been pre-qualified, do you need to buy as well, are you pre-approved if you do, and what that's going to allow. Repeat the number: 614-665-5404. I'll just drop it in the chat here. It's going to allow you to see what those possibilities are and see what that customer journey would be. So this does multiple things for us. So anywhere that you search our team on Google, Yelp, anything like that, this is the phone number that you're going to find. So speed to lead, right? If I'm in something like this, or closing or showing or vacation or whatever, and I can't pick up my phone, that consumer is now not going to just jump down the list of Google or whatever that they're searching on, right? So it allows me to speed to lead. I'm figuring out, okay, how can I get in front of them right away? 2, it is pre-qualifying the person for me. So by the time I do have a human go back to them, I'm not having to break the ice. I'm not having to ask them a bunch of questions. I already know what their timeline is, what their address is, what their pain points are, what they've done or not done. So when I come to this person as a human being, I already have the comps pulled, the net to seller sheet done, and marketing is already planned out. So coming with that type of efficiency, we really don't have competition by the time we get belly to belly with somebody, because we're already 4 or 5 steps ahead of what the other agent is doing. In these bots, you can train them to call transfer. So if, when you're on the phone with this bot later today, you were to say, I want to talk to Lauren, it would actually warm transfer the call straight to my cell phone. You could have it trigger workflows that if it does schedule an appointment for you, it will jump it into appointment confirmation, follow-up reminders, and things like that. It can actually create and update the contact field. So for example, if Brooke were to call this number and say, this is Brooke, this is my phone number, this is my address, it's automatically creating that contact in my CRM. I'm not having to manually go back and do it. And the best part, in my opinion, is at the end, I get an email that says, your AI employee has handled another call. Here's the caller's name, email address, phone number. Here's the call summary of what we went over, and here's the full transcript. So again, by the time I'm actually getting back to this person, I'm coming to them with solutions, not questions. Pretty powerful. I've also built in a full AI studio. So in the CRM, you can actually create and add TikTok scripts and lead magnets, and you can do all of this from within the CRM. So you're not having to toggle back and forth and do all those types of things. One of the most powerful parts is, like I said, it's completely customizable and it's working 24/7. So let's jump over to actually, no, we'll wait for that. I'll do that live here in a second. Let's jump over now to the follow-up automations. So in the CRM that I've built, and again, I am not a techie person. The way all of this came about was I was so frustrated with all the CRMs that were doing a little bit of a lot, but not everything I needed. So I built for our team what we needed, which is, this is the baby of it. So for example, the follow-up automations. When we get a Facebook lead come through, majority of the time, I'm sure we all know, it is a tire kicker, it is a wrong information, it is this, it is that, it is not worth me stopping what I'm doing to try to reach out to them. But also, there's a small percentage that it could be a real person ready to go, right? So what I've built here is an internal, a full workflow that will allow best of both worlds. So when this person clicks submit on a Facebook lead form, and this is just an example, it could be an open house form, it could be a QR code on your farming, it could be whatever you want. It will automatically notify me that we have a new lead, create the contact in our CRM, tag the contact where that lead came from. So for this example, it would be Facebook. It will assign an agent on my team in round robin or however you want it to assign things. It will notify that agent that they have a new lead that came through. It will create the opportunity on our opportunity board. Remember that big pipeline board that has everything from booked consultations all the way through asking for reviews. And then the powerful thing is ChatGPT will now step in and actually start to have a conversation with this lead. So all of this is happening within seconds. So now, instead of a canned message that is something lame, like, you know, hey, it's the LKW Home Team, thanks for filling out our Facebook lead form, or whatever it's going to say, I now have trained a bot. And this bot knows you're an appointment setter for a real estate company. Your goal is to send a short, casual message to leads coming through our Facebook. Here's our calendar link. Start the conversation by addressing them with first name. Here's their first name. And that's just a value that I'm just putting in, contact first name. And what this does now is going to text, email, whatever you want to set up, that ChatGPT response to the lead. So let's take a step back. 10 seconds ago, when Sam Smith put their Facebook lead form through, instead of me having to drop everything and actually reach out to this person praying that they're a real person, it has created a contact, assigned an agent on my team to that contact, tagged the contact, updated my opportunity board, and now it's analyzed what this person has submitted on that form, and ChatGPT is giving them a personalized response to whatever it is that they filled out. From there, because we all know that follow-up is very important, from there, what it does is it's going to wait for a reply. So it's going to wait for that person to actually text back. And if they do, another chatbot is going to jump in. And this one says, also, you're an appointment setter. Now I'm training it though. This lead has replied with this message. And I'm dumping in what the lead replied with, whether it was, I didn't sign up for this, or I need to buy a house, whatever it is. It's analyzing what that lead's response was to our pre-qualification. And now it's taking that, and the most powerful part is, if you can see the purple dotted lines that are just going round and round, this bot is trained to have a full conversation until this person either books on our calendar or tells them to go away. So it's going to ask questions, it's going to answer questions, it's going to pre-qualify these people to see, again, where they are in the timeline, if they've been pre-approved, whatever their needs are. And it's not just canned messages, it's actually analyzing what that person's response was and giving a response just like a human being would. So if they respond, that conversation starts. And again, it doesn't stop until they book on our calendar or tell it to go in. If the lead does not respond, it's going to wait 45 minutes and then it's going to send a follow-up text. So trained very similarly, but this lead has not responded, send a short follow-up text using less than 10 words to get a response. So then it's going to just take that response and follow up. And again, big purple dot, it'll continue to do this over and over and over and do all the follow-up for us until that lead either books on our calendar or tells it to stop. Now, if it is trying and following up and doing all these things and it's just getting ghosted left and right, then it's going to dump it into a nurture sequence where it's going to email the person and then text the person to tell them to check their email, and then actually eventually nudge a human being. So it'll actually task one of my agents to say, hey, I've tried to follow up this lead for forever. I'm not getting anywhere with it. Maybe you give it a go and see what happens. And if not, I've built out 7 to 10 days of those continuous emails and text messages and just following up, following up, following up. So the power of this is now any lead that we have coming through any source, by the time a human actually has to step in, we've already pre-qualified them. We already know their pain points, what they're trying to do, what their timeline is. And again, we're coming to them with solutions instead of more questions and frustration. All right, let's jump back over here again. Cool. So we have all of these different workflows. I've got probably, I'm pretty confident now, we're probably about 1,000 in different workflows for different things. So you could create custom workflows for appointments, contact management, existing client nurture, new client nurture, marketing, farming, internal, external, whatever it is, you can create all of these completely customizable. And it can update your CRM in real time. So how many of us get bad emails, or it's someone from 8 years ago who had a college email and now they've got a work email and it's just not right? I actually have set up that if I try to email someone in my database and it bounces, it will automatically text that person and say, hey, I tried to email you something. It didn't go through. Do you have an updated email? And if they send back the email, it will actually update the contact in the CRM to the new email. So all of these different things that you can build out are basically what's the pain point that you have, workflow it, build it, set it and forget it. Okay, so as you're starting to get these types of leads that come through, right? So now we've got the system from, okay, leads coming in, what is it going to do now? But how do we even start to get these leads utilizing AI? So is anyone in here using ManyChat right now? A couple of you? Nope, okay. If you have a lead problem, this is going to be the most impactful part of this entire presentation, and I'm going to do it in real time with you right now. So what ManyChat does is there's a free version, and then I pay, I think it's $15 a month. It's not very expensive, and it's very powerful. What this does is it connects to your Instagram and Facebook. They're working on TikTok, and I would not be surprised if LinkedIn makes its way in there eventually, but it's just Facebook and Instagram right now in the States. It will actually utilize bots on the back end to do whatever you want. So you're not having to live in your DMs and open conversations and give people things all day long. You're not getting distracted with that anymore. So the one that we're going to build today, it's an exact replica of what I built for my webinar back in March. And as you can see here, I think the end number ended up being like 44, but from me posting a reel that said, comment this word, 44 people that I didn't know already, who weren't already followers, came in, raised their hand, said, I want the thing. And then the bot worked to actually deliver the thing. So what we'll do here, and this is what I'll give you guys the blueprint to actually import this today and implement it today for you. But this is how complex it can be. Like if you wanted it to pre-qualify or have conditional logic that maybe, you know, they are approved, they go this way, they're not already pre-approved, they go that way. It's all customizable. You can build whatever you want and need for your own business. And if, again, hard to see, but it'll tell you how many people came through, what the conversion rate was, how many people clicked on it, all of those types of things. So in ManyChat, all of these automations, and here's the, let's see, this one. Here's the one that I just showed you, are all just drag and drop. So you come in here and say, I want this automation to trigger from what? Is it a comment? Is it a tag? Is it a story? Is it a comment on something? What is the first trigger? For me, I set it up that as soon as they commented on a specific post or replied to my story, that's when this bot started. So I trained it. I'm only wanting you to deploy bot. Yes, I talked to them. I'm only wanting you to deploy on this specific Instagram post. Now, your options are, your options are that you could tell it to respond to all of them. If you had if you wanted to niche down that this is your one client, your one thing, your one offer, you could literally post every single post from here on out on Facebook or Instagram saying, comment this one word, and this bot will comment back to the person, check your DMs, which is, it's expediting your engagement at a high rate because comment, response, the algorithm is seeing much more engagement. And on the back end, it's also delivering in their DMs whatever it is that they raised their hand and said they wanted. So for me, it was a webinar registration. A lot of you probably came through that same type of funnel from Instagram to be in this room today. You could make it a calendar link. You could make it a PDF of something that you've created, a relocation guide, a buyer guide for the mortgage people in here. Maybe you're breaking down the difference between FHA and conventional, whatever it is that you supply for your niche client. And it's going to, again, comment back to them, hey, check your DMs. And it's actually going to send them the DM. So if you wanted to require them to give you their email address, their phone number, you could build this out however you want and get all of that information on autopilot. So for me, what this looks like is for this specific one, on this specific post, if they comment the word masterclass or put an AI bot face, here are the random replies. That way they're not all the same. And you can tell it to wait 60 seconds to comment or anything like that you want to. But then once I tell it this post, this word, step 2 is here's what I want you to actually respond to them in the DMs. So again, this was a register now link. It could be anything you want. And then the last one could be, a follow-up or anything like that. So you could see after it sent the thing, I had it follow up. Let me know if you got registered without any issues. I'm here to help. So that is a easy, automated, AI powered conversation starter in the DMs. So if you wanted to take it over from there and have conversation and build that relationship, sure. But you used AI to attract people into your ecosystem, got them to engage on your post, double engagement because you're responding and sending them the thing that they're looking for in their DMs, all without you having to lift a finger, except set it up one time and turn it on. All right. Before we actually, and like I said, I will build one of these in real time for you. But before we actually do that, I wanted to go, oops, I got stuff here. Show you that you can actually run AI to help keep all of this at a very high CEO dashboard level. So you could have AI build analytics for you to know how many times did this go out? How many people clicked on this? And start to learn your KPIs so you know your click-through rate. And maybe you're split testing different copy using ChatGPT or whatever you use. Which one is converting higher? How many people came through and didn't click? Okay, obviously we have a messaging issue that they got there, but then they didn't choose to move forward. So you can use all of these different analytics and numbers to figure out and streamline using AI to kind of nail down what those systems, processes, content, all of it is. Okay, so I literally did this live with my community yesterday. So if you're in my community, sorry, you're going to see the same thing, but I wanted to just do this one so we're not having to wait and tweak and all the things and just show the power. We built out from scratch using ChatGPT, ManyChat, and Instagram, a full-blown lead magnet in 45 minutes or less. So this is how you can change your life right now and implement this in an hour or less. I gave you a little buffer time since it's your first time. So step 1, use ChatGPT to create a lead magnet. Is there anyone who's not familiar with what a lead magnet is? It's been a buzzword for a while, so I'm sure a lot of you probably understand. Okay, so use ChatGPT to create a lead magnet. 2, we're gonna set up a ManyChat automation to a social post. Step 3, we're going to start to collect the leads on autopilot and or set appointments with them. And step 4, we're going to rinse and repeat over and over and over and over and over. So you're now lead generating 24/7, no matter where you are, what you're doing, and you're not having to do anything. Okay, it looks like there are a couple people who don't know what a lead magnet is. Okay, so very high level, a lead magnet is you creating something of high value to your desired customer avatar. So who your audience is, who you want to work with. What we're going to do, and I'll show you here together live, you want to understand their pain points and create something that helps them get through those pain points while building you as the authority. So for example, I've had clients before who, they help first-time home buyers, and, for a couple of years, it's been really hard. I mean, not recently, but it was really hard for them to learn how to be competitive in the market, to learn what multiple offers were, what appraisal gap was, all these things. So if that was my client now, I would tell them, okay, perfect. Then we're going to create basically a one-pager or a cheat sheet or a video or whatever it is that you want to deliver, breaking that down, positioning you as the authority, but also teaching them the information that they're looking for. So what we're going to do here is walk through step by step what that looks like. So first, I want to grab this in case you guys want to come along with me and do it in real time. So this is a prompt. Remember, we're asking AI to help us figure out how to best ask AI. So this prompt right here is create me a mega prompt that I can reuse that will help me insert your goal or your outcome. The prompt should generate this type of result. Is it an Instagram reel, a lead magnet, a webinar, email sequence, whatever it is, written in this voice, optimized for this platform, and structured using this framework. So copy and paste just what's in the quotations there. And if you want to do it in real time with me, great. If you just want to pay attention here and do it later, totally fine too. What we do though is just copy and paste that into ChatGPT. And what you're going to get is something like this. Again, I did this yesterday, so it's not perfectly in real time, but it gave me, you are a highly knowledgeable and empathetic real estate agent in Columbus, Ohio. Your role is to help current homeowners who are emotionally or financially stuck in their 3% interest rate understand that moving to a better fitting home might still make financial sense even in today's higher interest environment by leveraging the equity of their current home. So now we're telling it, this is the role I want you to play. Here's the goal of what I'm trying to do. Here are the rules. Be conversational, empathetic, avoid industry jargon, prioritize clarity, include analogies, position this lead magnet as the light bulb moment resource. Don't make it salesy, make it helpful. So we're training this prompt based upon who we're looking to serve and how we're looking to serve it. So you're going to get, with the prompt I just dropped in there, it will give you something like this based upon your information. What you're going to do then is just copy and paste this into ChatGPT. Do you see how we're utilizing AI to help us get what we want out of it? So what you're going to do is copy and paste this in, and this is what you're going to get back. So I got, in my brand voice, stuck with a 3% mortgage in a house that no longer fits. You're not alone. Maybe your family has outgrown your current space. Maybe you're working from the kitchen table again. Maybe your dream of a backyard, a guest room. All of this is in my brand voice and is very high value to show them how to bridge the gap of the pain that they're currently in to the desired outcome that they're looking for. And it's making me the authority because I'm the one giving them basically the cheat sheet to get there. So once it puts back whatever it is you're looking to do, all you have to do is copy and paste this. Make sure, I see this happen often, make sure you're only copying and pasting the content that you want, because what ChatGPT is going to start doing is down here where it says, let me know if you'd like a downloadable version or whatever. You obviously don't want to put that in your lead magnet or on your webinar or anything like that. So just double check, make sure that it's one, exactly what you want. And if it's not, tell it. Tell it to be more educational. Tell it to be more inspirational. Tell it whatever it is that you don't like about the output, if there is something. Okay, so copy, paste, put this on a Google Sheet. It does not have to be fancy. It could be a Google Sheet. If you wanted to do it in Canva, whatever, that's up to you on how you want to do your time. But the fastest, most efficient way, just put it on a Google Sheet just like this. So boom, copy, paste. We really haven't done anything yet. We copy and pasted the first prompt. We copy and pasted the second prompt. And now we're copying and pasting the output that it's giving me and put it on a Google Sheet. That's it. Now I have something of value specific to my audience. Now I'm helping people bridge that gap. I'm putting my private information in here. I could put my calendar link. I could put whatever I want in this Google document. And what we're going to do is then take it over to ManyChat. So when someone comments on that specific post or comments that specific word or whatever you want, instead of this register now being my step, all I have to do is edit this to be open website, drop the link, oh, not the whole thing, come on now. Drop the link to the Google Sheet. And reminder with Google Sheets, if you're gonna send out links, make sure that you check the link that it's not restricted, it's shareable with anyone who has the link. Copy the link, put it right here in step 2, hit done. And now when that person comments whatever word you've chosen, it will automatically comment back to them, hey, check your DMs. And now you're sliding into the DMs with the value add that they're looking for. You're solving the problem instantaneously without having to lift a finger. And we just did this in 10 minutes or less. Obviously, there's going to be a learning curve. Obviously, you got to come up with your ideas, but you could absolutely have this done in an hour and start to generate leads. And again, if you have a specific client that you work with, a specific problem that you solve, anything like that, make it broad. Make it the one thing that you solve for people. Have this just rinse and repeat over and over on every single post, reel, story, everything that you do. People are going to start to comment. Your engagement's going to go way up and you're generating leads on autopilot. So I assume a couple of you are probably asking, well, how do I get their information? Or how do I get them in my CRM? That's much more advanced. We can go there if you want to. It is possible. You could make this next step, ask them for their email address and manually do it if you wanted to. We could also build bots that connect ManyChat to a Google Sheet, to your CRM. All of it's possible. You can automate it and literally have it just running 24/7 for you. So let me just run through a couple more things here and then we'll leave like the last 30 minutes for some questions and answers, clarification, and things like that. So my AI tech stack, I use a lot of different things. I am not going to water hose you with all of them. I'm going to give you what I use daily. For ideas and enhancement on top of ChatGPT, I do use Perplexity. This is a deeper research type formatting. So I use this more for our investment portfolio, our investor clients, analyzing different information, scraping the web, gathering data, etc. You can use it for a lot of different things. ChatGPT does do these things as well. In my opinion, Perplexity just does it at a higher level. 2, creating bots to handle specific tasks. I use make.com. Make.com is a lot like Zapier. So if you've used Zapier or have Zaps set up, very similar. The only reason I use make.com is one is integrated already with many more platforms. It's cheaper and I'm a visual person. So what I've built these bots for is to automate repetitive tasks. I've integrated multiple tools to have cohesive workflows, create tailored workflows for unique business needs, analyze data. All of this is completely, what's the word I'm looking for? Buildable within make.com. So here are a few things that I have done. For example, I have a Google Sheet set up specific to content creation. If I go in and type in, call it Columbus real estate, this Google Sheet is going to understand, oh, there's something that's been added to the sheet. I need to go grab it and analyze it. This build out then will take Perplexity to understand the word that I'm looking for. And this bot is trained to be a market research and analyst. It's taught to go find local insights into whatever the topic is that I put in. Who are the key players? What's going on with the market? All of these different things. So this bot is completely trained, customizable by what I need. Then this bot is going to send me an email of the summary. Then it's going to route 3 different ways. This OpenAI ChatGPT bot is trained to be a Facebook expert, a Facebook image generator. I'm sorry, Instagram's first. Hold on. Instagram caption expert, an Instagram caption image generator, and then actually post it to my Instagram. Same for Facebook, same for LinkedIn. So you could literally set this type of bot up that all you have to do to create content at a very high level is go into a Google spreadsheet, type in a word or copy and paste a news article or whatever it is that you want to do. And all of this is completely automated and posting on your behalf over and over and over and over in your brand voice, because all of these bots were trained by you. So the power of this is crazy. And again, this is just one example. Here's another example that I used for before I got into the AI side of coaching. I was just coaching real estate agents. And so what this bot did was there was a form that they would fill out that said who they were, what their pain points were, how long they were in the industry, if they were an introvert or an extrovert, a couple, like 10 questions, right? So when this form would get submitted, the AI bot would say, oh, I'm up. It would take that response, put it into ChatGPT to analyze and create a step-by-step success plan over the next 90 days in my brand voice based off my teachings and my coaching style. It would then dump it into what's called 11 Labs, which is where you can clone your voice. So the summary of what I would be saying is then dropped over to 11 Labs, where it's creating that saying in my own voice. And then it would create it in a Google Drive, upload the file, get the share link, and actually send it to my client. So for my client filling out a form, within minutes, they have a success plan in my voice in their email based upon everything that I've taught all these bots and my coaching style. So these bots can run automatically, or they can be built and ready for you manually. So if you're like, wow, that looks awesome, but I don't want some bot posting on all of my stuff all the time, great. You could set it to run once a day, once a week. You could set it that you manually have to come in here and say, I want you to run right now. So everything is an option. You just have to figure out what systems and processes you want. Another big one I use is Opus Clip. If you do long form video and you're not using Opus Clip, you're definitely missing out on content. What Opus Clip does is it takes, call it a YouTube video, or if you had like a podcast that you were recording with somebody, or you did maybe your buyer consultation, anything like that, long form, and it chops it up into short form video. Already with the captions, it has an AI that will look for the ands, the ums, the silences, and cut all that out. You can actually create and customize. And the best part about this is it is also part of the Google world. So it will rank these things off of virality. So you can see here, like this one had an 86% chance of going viral. This one had 87. And even though it spits out chopped up, ready to go, you can still go in here and edit further if you want to. So it's just like a CapCut or a Photoshop or something like that if you wanted to edit it further. I am very ADHD. I have multiple businesses. I have 2 kids. I have a lot going on. I am easily distracted, and I want to make sure that I am efficient. If that's you, or if you're a busy mom juggling a lot of different things, Blitzit is for you. What Blitzit does is it takes your task list, so you're manually typing in what you have to do this week or this month or whatever, and it's taking it with AI to pull over, okay, here's what I need to get done today. And for example, let me just pause this real quick. For example, if I put Instagram post and I want to limit my time, that I have 20 minutes to come up with an Instagram post, which I can do now because I know how to use AI to do it. When I turn this on and hit Blitz now, the entire screen is going to go black. So I'm not distracted. I'm only focused on that one thing. And if any of you, I don't have it anymore, I gave it to my 7-year-old, but I used to have that old kitchen counter timer where you could set it to like 30 minutes or whatever, and it would count you down and then you move on to the next task. This is a lot like that, but on your computer, and it blacks out your screen. So if you have a problem with distractions or shiny objects or multiple tabs, definitely look into Blitz It to keep you more focused. And Monica. So Monica is a lot of these mashed together. So she can do the podcast, she can read the PDFs, she can do all of these, the mind maps, everything that you could possibly think of. She is not free, but I have her for a couple of different reasons. One, because she is a Chrome extension. She lives in my Google Chrome. So any email that I need to send, I can run it through her without having to toggle back and forth. Any landing page I'm working on, anything, she's right there. Another thing I really like about her is she has ChatGPT, Cloud, Jasper, Llama, all of these integrated in her. So I could toggle between those different LLMs within this one platform. I believe I pay about $300 a year for this. So again, nothing that's going to break the bank, but I completely understand that they all start to add up and it's very overwhelming. So I just want to be transparent. So Monica is both a Chrome extension and hangs out in my browser 24/7 for instant access. The last one is Napkin AI. So Napkin is free, and it's going to be very powerful for real estate agents and mortgage lenders for a couple of different reasons, because what it does is it takes text and creates actual visuals for that text. So for example, if I put in the first time homebuyer process, and I just say step 1 is this, step 2 is this, step 2. If I get someone who doesn't learn by reading, then they might get overwhelmed. But if I copy and paste that in a Napkin AM and do it in a visual way that's a lot less daunting to them, it's going to be much more successful. And you could do it and change it to be all these different types of things, steps, roadmaps, anything that you want. And it's very easy to use. So again, it's free. I would highly recommend it. So if I wanted to go back to my free lead magnet, if I wanted to take, let's just copy and paste a couple things. Let's see, let's do what it's costing you to stay stuck and ready for clarity. Okay, so let's just say I copy and paste this over to Napkin AI. All I would have to do is just hit this little blue button, and it's going to create me the visual for what I'm trying to do. And I can change it. I can tweak the colors. I could do whatever I want. Oop. What did I do? Try that again. I can do whatever I want to put it in my brand, change the formatting. And in a matter of seconds now, I have all of these different options. So this is powerful when you're building out consultations and stuff like that. If someone's having a hard time understanding, you can make whatever you've already written or whatever you're already speaking on and make visuals for it in a matter of seconds. And that one, like I said, is free. So let me jump back over here real quick. How are we doing on time? Okay, we got about 20 minutes. Cool. I think that's it. Cool. So by now, I hope you're saying, obviously, Lauren's cracked the code to a lot of this. I need to learn this. Before we get to questions and answers, just to recap, AI is not here to replace you. It is here to make your life easier. If you can use Google, you can use AI. If spending a few hours a day for the next 2 weeks will give you weeks back of your life, and I did the calculation this morning, there's 32 weeks left in 2025. If you implement this and start to save yourself 15 hours a week, that's 480 hours for the rest of the year. That is 12 full work weeks, 12 full 40-hour work weeks that you could be saving just by implementing a few of these things right now. I know what it's like to feel overwhelmed. I've been you. I was you 18, 19 months ago. But I promise you, if you just take a little bit of time and a little bit of faith to understand what you've just learned today, I promise you it will change your life. Also, I want you to ask yourself, what happens if you don't take action? What happens if you're still juggling all the balls and still muddy and tedious and mundane and not scaling and burning out. Like what happens to that if you don't do anything? So if you guys enjoyed this, I would love, I'm trying to obviously build this business that has just come out of nowhere. If you guys would leave me a Google review, I would really, really appreciate it. And if you want more, I do have a community. So here's the QR code for my community if you want to come in. It's $9.97 for the year. I do have a monthly option too. So if this is something that you're like, okay, I really need to figure this out, come join us. We've got like 35 people in there. The community is amazing. I go live. There's courses and classes and tech stacks and all the things. So if that's for you, it's not gonna be for everybody, but if that's for you, I would love to see you in there. So what questions? I wasn't able to keep up with the chat, so I kind of gave what questions did we have? Let's see. I'm still scrolling. Okay, hold on one second. And if anyone wants to come live and ask a question, like feel free to jump in.
I'll ask a question.
I'll ask a question.
Go ahead, Rick.
What's up, Brady? How you
Go
doing, man?
ahead, Rick. Go for it. Golden
Oh,
Bachelor.
okay, but mine's really
Good.
simple.
Silver Bachelor.
Yeah, Golden Bachelor.
I love it.
And anyway, using Perplexity, could you use that to generate like a monthly newsletter? Or because I dabbled in it for a second and I get something from it every day regarding the market, but could you make it more? Is that what that does specifically?
Yeah, so I use Perplexity mainly because when ChatGPT first came out, it did not have the ability to go scrape the internet. And it was trained, so all the information that it had was only relevant to 2021. So I started using Perplexity for that exact reason, because it did have the ability to go find relevant articles in today's, I could tell it May of 2025 and I would get it. So I use Perplexity for that, but yes, you could absolutely have it write articles for you, go find the information for you, and automate that entire system.
Cool. That's what I'm looking to do. Beautiful.
Love
Hey,
it.
Lauren, I was going to ask a question, and I unfortunately had to jump on and off during the presentation, but I was doing my best to listen all the way through. I love it. I want to be a part of what you're doing. I'm a mortgage lender. It's some of this, I know mainly you talked about real estate agents, but have you done some of this optimized for lenders? It's very similar, but slightly different. So I'm sure you've thought that through, but is there a tier that I can come in and get some access to the tools that's specifically designed for MLOs?
Absolutely. Yes. So we have, I would say out of 34, there's probably 10, maybe 12 mortgage lenders already in the community. So I am very specific to breaking down, just like the custom prompt that I gave you. I break down where to insert who you are and what you do. So you guys are, everyone's getting the same information customized to their business. But yes, absolutely. We have even the CRM and everything I've built. I've got mortgage lenders, title company, home inspection, home warranty. Anybody who owns a business can utilize anything that I have to offer. Just tweak it with your specific stuff and you're all set.
Okay. And then that's the entry point to accessing this stuff is to join the school community. That's the best way to access and get into your sphere. Okay, cool.
Yep, that's the best way. And if you guys want to, I'll just put this screen back up. There's the QR code. Like I said, the $9.97 a year is the cheaper version, but if you just want to come in monthly, it's $97 a month to be in. And that comes with all the live coaching, all the replays, all the everything. And again, I just started this in March and I'm still building it out. But there's already a ton in there and it's just going to build bigger, faster, stronger.
Dope. I'm excited. Thank you.
Of course.
I'll just say with the school group, it's awesome because you get to kind of watch some of these things be like played out and created on past videos, but then on the live calls with Lauren, you get to go through it even live and say, hey, I got stuck here. Can you help me through this? And she'll like run through it with you and actually like walks you through the problem and to get to the solution. So it's super valuable.
For sure. And I will say too, Brooke was in here. I don't think she's in here anymore. She's in my community and we worked together to build a expired listing. She's a real estate agent, build an expired listing bot that literally she just dumps in the addresses of the expireds and it will write the letter for her, put it on a template for her, send it off to the postcard writing place for her, actually do the postage and do the mailer and send it all out automated. And what she did, once she built that, she was like, hey, here you guys go. if you want it. Like, that's how giving the community is. It's like, hey, I built something really cool. I want everybody else to win too. And we're just all building and learning and exploding together.
Hey, Lauren.
Hi.
First off, thank you. This stuff is mind-blowing. It's super exciting. I feel a little bit overwhelmed if I'm honest, but I love it. I think I'd like to ask you, where do you recommend I start? I've used ChatGPT. I haven't used any of the other ones. I wrote a lot of notes because I'm a big note taker to go back, but just to start kind of where should I start? I feel I love your community, but I feel like it's too advanced for me at this point. But as I become a little bit more familiar, then I feel like I'm at ground zero. So what would you recommend? Which ones are the ones that I kind of start to play with? So, because I want to commit to starting to learn and spend some time on it. It's like another language, I feel like. So, yeah.
So what I would highly recommend to at least get the ball rolling is, I can find the slide. Where was it? This one. I would use ChatGPT to create your lead magnet, sign up for your ManyChat, and actually start to get people into your ecosystem if the leads is your biggest problem. If the systems is your biggest problem, then I would say build out those SOPs and get some bots working for you first. But if you just want to get out there and use AI to like explode your business quickly and you can handle more leads, this is the first place I would start.
Thank you.
Of course. Anybody else have a question?
I do.
Yeah.
There was a question in the chat whether a high level CRM that is part of the offering.
For the school community, no, it's separate. For the school community, I do give a free 30-day trial if you want to try it out. But they are two different entities. So the actual CRM, if you're interested in that, I do give the whole thing. I mean, I literally copy and paste it into whatever your business is. All you would have to do is edit the links and the calendars and things like that. But I've actually hired on a full development team who can do all that for you if that's something you're interested in. So as far as the community goes, you do get a free trial, but it is an extra charge if you actually want to utilize all of the AI within the CRM itself.
Okay, so I guess I need to break down. So the 997, is that part, does that get you into the community you're saying or not?
997 will get you into the community for the full year. So that's all the replays, all the live trainings, everything that I've built out, all of my prompts. That gets you in for a full year of the community itself and a free trial of the CRM.
Okay, because I've already gotten exposed to high level already. And so, you know, I know the three levels.
Yeah. Are you up and running on Go High Level?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because if you are, I can just copy and paste it and send it over to you and you can implement it in what you already have.
But I mean, I feel confident that I could, you know, get the account up and going. So it's a snap, or what do you call it? A snap in or a, what do you call it? In had a snap.
A snapshot.
Snapshot, yes. So again, that doesn't change anything. There's a lot of work that goes into building that snapshot. And so I value that. And so
Yep. And I give, like, that's just part of, if you get the CRM, you get all of it. Like, I've already built out all these workflows and AI, like, you would just have to edit and tweak to be what your business is.
okay. And so did I hear you say that you would that you can do it monthly or the 997?
Yeah, both the community and the CRM. You get it cheaper if you do it for the year, but there are monthly options for both. Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. I want to make this all as accessible to everybody that I possibly can. But obviously this is taking me a long time to build, so I got to charge something.
No, I want you to, there's no objection whatsoever. I think it's got great value. I just want to, my wife and I are a team, and so I need to be able to articulate what the exact cost is for us to do this.
Absolutely. No, and if you want to, I'll actually drop the calendar link. You guys can hop on a free consultation call with me if you would like
Yes,
to talk about those types of things. Absolutely.
let's do it.
Grab the link and drop it there. And anyone can jump on there and book a slot and ask their questions individually or whatever you guys want to do. Do I know if GHL has this training on their end as well? Yeah, they do have their own development team and widgets and things like that. I just brought on my own. That way I have some control. They know my business. They know the clients I serve and things like that. I have to head out. Thank you. You're welcome. Lead magnet.
I think Janet has a question too.
Yeah.
And
Oh, sorry. I didn't see your hand up.
So I kind of feel the same way as Diana that there's a lot going on, and I mean I've used ChatGPT just to structure an email maybe or just to write something out, but very minimal. Actually, by the time I'm almost finished writing, I always remember, okay, ChatGPT, I could throw it in there and it'll restructure it. My concern with the community is that if I jump right into it, I am so far behind that I don't think I can catch up with that.
Absolutely. And that's why we do the live trainings is because, you know, you get 3 times, unless I'm traveling every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 noon, I am in the community teaching something, able to answer questions, mastermind, and things like that. But
Because
like
I would have to start like from the very basic, like, not even kindergarten, pre-K 2 maybe.
For sure. And that's where we can absolutely, if there's a group of people who jump in, we can start and add an extra like 101 section. So you don't feel as overwhelmed and things like that. The cool part about all of this is I'm a one-woman show. There are no rules. So I can make up and add and tweak and change and mortgage to real estate. I could do anything that anyone needs because my passion is helping you guys get all of this off your plate. And to your point, if you already feel behind now and don't change anything, you're just going to get further behind in all of the AI
No,
stuff.
absolutely. I heard you last, I think it was last week, time flies in Atlanta. And then I wrote to you, actually, I think Daniel is in the class because I shared it today in our meeting. We have a group of agents. We had 150 agents on the call. And I said, in our breakout session, I spoke, I asked about AI and I said, listen, there's going to be this class and yeah, I'm not promoting her, but I'm saying that I'm going to be in there. If you guys want to listen to it, because I think it's a great start. But I'm definitely going to book the consultation with you and then go into the community. I just feel sometimes that I'm like very behind.
For sure. And
I
one of
will
the
say, oh, sorry, Lauren. I just wanted to say because I felt the same way because I jumped into the community and I was like, whoa, like did I bite off more than I could chew? Because I felt like, you could see that you're talking about different things in there that I didn't know about. Well, I went in and I just revisited your 3-day workshop that's in the classroom. And that really helped me get kind of more familiar with, all of these different like tools that they're talking about in the community. So I went in there and just rewatched that. And now I feel like I'm at the same level as everyone else. It didn't take a lot for me to feel like comfortable. And then also the fact that all these calls that you're doing, it's literally everyone kind of has the same questions as I did. So everyone's on the same boat in reality. No one's like super, maybe you have a couple people in there that are like pretty advanced, but otherwise everyone I feel like is just where we are at.
For sure. And I want to add to that too. Even for the cost, if cost is something you're worried about, I do offer 40% affiliate link. So if you did want to jump in and you were able to get 3 people to join with you, yours could be basically free because you're going to get that recurring revenue of whatever 40% that whoever joins. So you each have your
That's good. That's really good.
Okay, let's see. Had IT. Perfect. Awesome. Does anyone else have any questions? I want to respect your guys' time, and I know that it's coming up on the hour. I did drop in the link to my calendar. I'm flying out to Phoenix to do a class for Chris Mendelin next week. So you're gonna see like Wednesday through Sunday is all blocked off just because I'm gonna be there focusing on them. But I do have time before and after, obviously, for the rest of the summer. If you guys want to jump in and have a little one-on-one.
Lauren, can I
I'll
ask you-
definitely book something with you. I'm gonna consult my partner to see if he can get on the call as well, so that I don't have to repeat myself. of what I
Yeah,
heard.
in the actual booking link, you can add guests. So you could just find time that works for both of you, send it to his email and not to worry about it. Yep.
And Jeanette,
Quick question,
Yeah.
the class, what's the commitment? Like how often is it? Is it a live class and then you have the videos that you're able to go on your own? What kind of commitment do you
Yes.
recommend?
So there's no, I mean, it's up to you. I go live 3 times a week for an hour if you want to be there. I understand completely that everyone is busy, so if you can't be there, what I do is I have all of the replays right here.
wow,
So you can always go back
so
and
good.
refer back to them. And keep in mind, back to the first thing we talked about, Notebook LM. You could literally copy and paste the video or the transcript or whatever, dump it in a Notebook LM and not have to go through the full thing. Just be like, hey, what did Lauren talk about that might be efficient for my business this week? And take the replay, save yourself time, put it in Notebook LM, get what you need and move on.
So potentially you could start doing those and then ask you questions also, like send you messages?
Yeah, I've got DMs in here. And like I said, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern, which is 9 a.m. for a lot of you. I am live unless I'm traveling or have something else. But this community is very, very engaging. Like you could see all, I mean, these are all just community people. They share their frustrations, they share their wins, they ask questions. I mean, it is amazing. And like I said, there's 38 people in here right now. They're all in real estate in some way, shape, or form.
Thank you, Lauren.
Of course. Awesome. All right. Well, you guys have my calendar link. If you want to book something, feel free. If you want to join the community, I have the QR code. I will send all these slides over to our girl and we will make sure that you guys are all set and anything you need.
Thank you.
You're very
You are
welcome.
Yeah.
Have a
So
great
much
week.
great information. Thank you so much. You're
That
awesome.
QR code one more time.
Yeah. QR code at the end. Boom. There you go.
Oh, school. That's so good.
Yeah, I used to be on Kajabi, and it was just one of those things that I can actually implement school with my CRM and have everything talk, and it's just simpler. So
School is amazing.
yeah, it's very, very user friendly.
Lauren,
Mhm.
real quick, one more question.
Yeah.
Now, is that high level CRM, is that the only CRM that your build out will work with? Or is it built specifically for that?
So it's built specifically on their platform.
Okay.
It can integrate with literally almost anything using make.com. So if you did want the CRM connected to, I don't know, maybe you've got Flowdesk or anything like that, you could connect those two with an integration. Very
Mhm.
yeah.
Do
But
you
you
know if anybody has connected it to Command?
I do not, and I don't think it's possible only because we need the API key of Command, and I have not been able to obtain that. I don't have a whole lot of pull up to Gary to see if we can get it. But if they give us the API key, boom, that's all we need. That's all we need to have the two talk.
But there's probably a workaround, right? In terms of getting information into Command.
Yeah, I mean, there are workarounds where you could create a webhook and have it go scrape information and text parse it off. It's very complex.
Yeah.
If the API key, the two, basically the code that one was written on will talk to the code that the other was written on, and it will easily integrate instead of having to
Right.
almost anticipate where the information is that you would even want to pull.
Mm-hmm.
So if I get the API key, that would be the key to being able to integrate, right?
You can get me the Keller Williams Command API key. You can have Profit Pulse for free for the rest of your life.
Well, come on, you know who you're talking to, right? I know a guy.
I know. But yeah, that literally is I've had a lot of people, because I am Keller Williams, ask that question, and I would love to have it integrate because it could change so much for so many people, but I just don't have.
Well, I'm on the mortgage side, so it's a little different, but yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks, Lauren. Thanks for all the help. Hopefully, I've just started a new company, so the CRM that we were given the choice of using it's not high level. It's MLO Flow, and I haven't even jumped in it yet. So hopefully, I can make it happen.
I love it.
Cool. Thanks, sir. You're great. You're great, Lauren. Just friggin' awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you for having me. I appreciate everyone's time. I hope you guys all have a great day and a great weekend. And now I have to turn off my AI brain and go to a listing appointment. So,
You remember to do that.
right? Awesome.
So,
Thank you so much.
all right, well, thank you so much.
Uh-huh.
Appreciate it. Thanks. Bye. Bye, everyone.